We're going to share the project that we developed over the past week that relates to a class that we have that's called Unity and Diversity 7. It is what's considered a core course, so it's ungraded, but it is developed in response to some of the core values of the school. This project is going to take place over a period of 8 weeks, and it's activism in the law. So we're going to ask the students to consider the first big question, which is, how do our laws uphold democratic ideals? Do changes in laws accompany social change?
And the way we're going to do this is we're going to be asking students to look at a bank of pictures. And these pictures are pictures of people in certain events. As you can see, they're events connected to Supreme Court cases. We will not tell them the information. We will ask them to look at the pictures and brainstorm questions and ask questions. This is the document where they're going to be logging in their questions. They'll have questions before they read or before they actually read any information on the pictures. They will eventually get access to showing, they will see other materials and they will ask questions during. This is our Wonderings page.
After they've had an opportunity to look at the pictures with partners, we're going to ask them to go to a Google form where they can choose the one that they would like to focus their wonderings and inquiry and information gathering on. We'll ask them to submit that, and after that's been done and we go through all of the results, we will only then let them know what the name of the case is that they're going to be working on.
Once they have their case, they will continue going deeper in their questions, and they'll have access to some video and audio resources so they can learn more about their case and continue to ask questions and see how much information they can gather from this and what more information they need.
Once they've done the viewing of the image and then the video and audio consumption, looking at that, we're anticipating that they will be generating more wonderings, more questions. Some of their initial questions will likely be answered by what they see in the video, but there will be some that can't be answered just by viewing the video. So at this point, we've created a list of resources that they can go to that will, most of these are text-based, but they will help them to dig a little bit deeper about the case that they are inquiring about and engaging with.
Remember that at every step of the way, we will remind them about the big question about how our laws uphold democratic ideals, and do changes in the law bring about social change. So they will be dialoguing about that, and they will do a screencastify talking about their ideas about the pictures, the case, possibly think about how this case is reflected in our everyday life today.
Then we will be asking them to post the screencastify to a Padlet that will be available to them not only in this document, but will be linked through Google Classroom. The reason for that is that we will want students to be able to access each other's work in order to be able to reflect on it as they do more wonderings about how their case relates to other cases that we're going to be studying. And so they will have linked it right back to their screencastify that they will have made, and students will be able, we're going to ask them to look at least 3, and then to dialogue about connections that they make with their own case, as well as connections that they make to cases that are happening today.
At the end of this process, we will have a turn and talk conversation in the classroom to look at everybody's work and pose the question, how do these different cases, how does the work that everybody did connect one to the other? And we will ask them to find connections if there are any. And finally, as they leave, they will be filling out an exit ticket, which will be their final reflection on the course and on the work that they've just done and the work that they have seen.
I know this seems like it's a lot that we're asking them to do, and we're condensing it into a very short description, but this takes place over an 8-week period. Students will be allowed to work at their own pace, and we're certain that there will be some who will be able to be very comfortable with this process, and others who may not, who are not ready yet to be able to grapple with some of these really difficult concepts. But we feel that by creating this in a multimodal way, we're really addressing some of the learning needs and styles of the students that we'll have in the class. Thank you very much for listening.